I do bow to Jimmy because I did get choked out once up there in Boston by Steve Richards or Stevie Richards from the WWF because I was the asshole.
Who laughed at you? Triple H? Did he go?
Everybody laughed at me. Everybody laughed at me.
Out by Stevie Richards.
You know, I'm an asshole, and I took it a little too far with the wrestling guy saying, wrestle. I was one of those idiots. So in Boston, we were at a gig, and backstage, it wasn't even in front of people. He fucking got pissed and lifted me up in a chokehold. And it was the most horrifying 2 seconds of my life.
It's like Andrew WK.
Yeah. I learned my lesson. I fucking learned my lesson.
Yeah.
My throat hurt for weeks after that. To this day, I think he did something.
Permanent damage?
I don't know. Maybe a little fucking...
I'll sue you.
I trust these guys more than
a wrestler.
WWE. Yeah, because they're choking you for wrestlers can choke you.
Didn't
for real.
Belzer get choked out by who was it? It was Hogan.
He sued him too, right?
Yeah, Hogan. He said something like, "All right, well, put me in a headlock." And
Hogan and Mr. T were on. Yeah.
Yeah, and Hogan said, "Okay," and he put him right to sleep.
Put him in a sleeper hold.
Just
dropped him to the floor
right on TV.
Cracked his head open where he needed stitches, and he woke up and just said, "We'll be right back after these messages." Now, Hulk is putting Belzer in pretty much the same thing.
A guillotine.
This is exactly what Jimmy just took.
But now Belzer, you could tell, wants out. And Hulk is having no part of it.
The other reason that you can't have wrestlers put you in moves is because people don't take wrestlers seriously. They think they're wimps because it's not competitive fighting.
So they have something to
prove.
Like
nobody thinks that a UFC Jim didn't say put me in a chokehold. You're not actually choking anybody.
Yeah.
So when you tell that to a pro wrestler, okay, I'll put you they're interested in protecting the business.
Right.
Is what
there's
called.
some anger.
There's no tapping out with
there's
these
some
guys.
anger involved with it.
Like when Eastside Dave wrestled this guy Danny Doring at the Hard Rock Cafe. Eastside Dave always tells a story. He said, the one thing he told me to do is when you're giving somebody a clothesline, always in the chest, never the throat. Because, you can hurt your throat.
Yeah.
And Eastside Dave said, the minute the bell rings, Danny Doring winds back and clothesline right to the Adam's apple. Just to let him know. You can't just step into a...
Yeah. You're not a professional, and I'm going to prove it.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, I want to see that.
I want to see that
and when
video.
was that?
Belzer falls like a sack of potatoes.
Dude.
He really goes down. Look at the size difference.
What year was this?
This was WrestleMania in 1985, 84.
25 years ago.
A front chin lock. How about it, T?
Keep him like that for a little while.
He's out.
Just the way he dropped.
He's all right. He's just sleeping. He's sleeping. Really, I was a sleeper hole. He'll be all right. He's waking up now. That was a serious hole. A lot of people...
I bet most people thought Belzer was faking it.
Is that blood? Look at that pool of blood on the ground.
Yeah, he cracked his...
We'll be right back after this word from you-know-who.
Look at the blood on the back of his head. He cracked his head open.
Hey, Belzer sued
Yeah, that was a terrible...
Yeah, because, he hurt his head.
Oh, Belzer sued the shit out of Hulk on that one.
That was a terrible thing to drop him like that. Let me see, what's Belzer say
Did you see his head flapped forward and back?
He was like, even before he hit the ground, you're like, this is wrong.
He looked dead.
I said, when I got up and said, we'll be right back, I had no idea where I was. I was in shock. And I know I'm doing this a little bit, maybe going too far, but can we get a close-up of these stitches? Because I saw Bill Cosby today, and he thought it was a hoax. And if he thought, can we read that?
There was a hoax.
Can you see that? Can you see those stitches?
No, we can't.
I'm sorry to do that to you. I'm sorry, but I just wanted to show you. And this is not the first incident between a professional wrestler and a television interviewer. Watch what happened to ABC's 2020 report.
They actually showed he's gearing up for his lawsuit. yeah, watch what happened. Let's see, there's precedent here. I'm
not going to sue a UFC guy.
The other one was who's John
Stossel and Dr. D.
Dr. D.
David Schultz, yeah.
We say Dr. D. He's like, well, isn't this all fake? Isn't this all phony? And Dr. D said, is this
I'll
fake?
show you fake.
And he slapped him right in the ear.
Oh,
and just
ow.
Open him.
You know that must have just went
forever.
He's still hearing
There's
that
got to
one.
be a constant threat of lawsuits, I would think.
Is he still alive?
I remember
Yes.
seeing this
On the
one.
camera reading, he ain't in it.
He's
Read
got
these rednecks out here ain't in it because it's a tough business.
Oh, shit.
That's terrific.
What, is that all you got?
I'll ask you the standard question. You know,
Standard question.
Here
I
we
think
go.
this is fake.
You think it's fake? What's that? Is that fake?
Holy shit, he put him right on the ground.
You think it's fake?
Oh,
my God.
shit.
Jesus.
He's bitch slapping
Good for
John
him.
Stossel.
You know, steroids
the
have
business.
And John Stossel just
Hit him
ran
twice.
away.
You gotta
He
protect
ran
the business.
away.
Wow.
Think it's
You
fake?
think it's fake?
Exactly. Got it.
Bam! He gave him one on one side and then
four-letter
one on the
word.
other.
Did he get sued for that? He had
Yes.
to have.
Oh, come
He
on.
lost a lot of money?
course he
Yeah.
got
Oh, really?
sued.
Stossel sues after that when he fuck Stossel.
I know. I'm on Stossel's side. He didn't ask the guy to hit him. That's a
Yeah, but he was
That's
being
funny.
cocky, going it's
Dude,
fake.
yeah, he was being.
Belzer
You
got
want
five.
to try that?
5 million.
$5 million for that.
$5 million.
1985 for 5 million.
$5 million, $1985
From Hulk or from wrestling?
Well,
I think it was Hulk. He also sued Mr. T
why?
That's
because Mr. T egged him on. Yeah, why don't you keep him like that for a while? Keep him like that.
I bet he didn't get anything.
He
from
just
Mr. T.
sleeping. He just sleeping.
Did he get anything from Mr. T?
I don't know.
Let's find out. This
gold-
guy
you got
seems
some
to know.
jewelry.
One gold chain.
Jeremy in Indiana. Jeremy.
Yeah,
Hey, buddy.
yeah. He sued Hulk. I know he got $5 million off of Hulk. It went on for a little bit in court, and it never really says what he got from Mr. T. But some people are saying like 1.2 million from Mr. T, and then some are saying like 600,000.
Why did he get anything from Mr. T?
Well, Mr.
Well,
T
they said
egged him
'cause,
on.
Well, they said a lot of it was off camera.
Oh.
Him and Mr. T kind of had words, and Mr. T allegedly pushed him while he was still bleeding.
And it was some of Mr. T's deodorant commercials.
Mr. T then exclaimed, The court reporter's like, I have no idea how to spell that.
You find another one, Sam?
You're a witness.
He then pitied the fool.
Is it not true when you pitied the fool, you were actually not pitying the fool?
I pity the fool, say I'm lying about pitying the fool.
This host doesn't actually get hit, but when they were in Kuwait, a host made some mention to Vader that wrestling was fake.
Oh, boy.
And Vader is the guy that Mick Foley says is the one guy that actually hits you when you're in the ring. He hated wrestling him.
Yes.
And they actually kept him in Kuwait like for 3 weeks. They wouldn't let him out. Like they put him in jail. And the WWF at the
Kuwaiti
time
jail he was
had to
in?
be like, you have to let him out. Like he was in there for
great.
at least
I bet you Vince McMahon.
He was in jail because of
Let
what?
him rot.
because he
Let him
He
rot.
threatened the
he
guy?
grabbed the TV host by the shirt collar.
Vader, watch this now.
My turn.
Feel fake, huh? Does that feel fake? Does it? Why don't you come down tonight, and before I kick his, I'll kick your. Okay. All right? Calm down. Don't. Hey, we're not here to be insulted. I'm not here to be insulted. Okay.
Wow.
Boy, people get so scared.
Yeah.
Well, because you forget that they're giant guys.
Yes.
So it's like you think that they're just playing these goofy characters, and then all of a sudden they become real people who
They're
are actually
real.
going to beat you up.
Yes. What happened? What happened? You were a goofy comic book character.
Got a red mask on.
Yeah. And now
The
you're
guy's got
ready to
lipstick all over his face. He's like, what's this guy going to do? Kiss me?
You're ready to cave my face in now. What happened? We were just chatting. They do not like that fake.
Yeah.
Years ago, especially. It was really.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Before it became sports entertainment.
Well, he had no choice.
Yeah. All right, it is fake.
All right, I'll admit it.
Vince McMahon, if you say wrestling's fake, shut up. I'm your boss. Oh, I forgot. Which one is this? Vince McMahon?
That's when he was on HBO and he decided to become Mr. McMahon and he slapped the guy's papers while he
What? Slapped the
Like, he
papers
just-
out of his hand?
Slap the papers?
Like
Holy-
sometimes Vince does interviews and just becomes the TV character.
TV
once.
Vince in the middle of an interview with a CEO of a company.
He's a billionaire.
Isn't it?
I kind of remember this. I haven't seen this in
Let's
years.
hear this.
As far as, and you've got that little look on your face like,
Yeah,
geez, Vince, how can you possibly say that?
Well, but none whatsoever. I mean, they
'Cause I mean,
wrestled for you.
they
They were
wrestled for
part
me,
of
they-
your organization. They
Wait a minute.
worked a couple of hundred nights a year for you.
Oh
They
my
lived
God,
this
oh,
lifestyle.
Oh my God, you can't believe. Oh, can you see that look? I mean, oh, how can you possibly say that, Vince? How can you look that way and you're giving me the old sympathetic
No, I'm not.
stuff?
I'm honestly curious.
Because I told you.
Wow.
He knocked the
What was that about?
Wrestling deaths. He didn't feel like talking about it that day.
How long ago is that interview?
That's a while ago now.
This was probably like very early 2000s, maybe late
You could
90s,
do-
like
You
99.
could do a recap now on the whole thing.
Yeah, they have to do 2 hours instead of one.
Yeah.
Maybe fake violence breeds real violence, and not just among the fans. Seems to egg on bullies like 6'6", 260-pound Dave Schultz. He used to be tag team partner of Eddie Mansfield, the wrestler who's just told us how every match is fake. I asked Schultz questions that I assume all wrestlers have been asked dozens of times.
What? Is this a good business?
Yeah, it's a good business. I wouldn't be in it if it wasn't.
Why is it a good business?
Because only the tough survive. That's the reason you ain't in it. And this punk holding the camera reading he ain't in it. Reading these rednecks out here ain't in it. Because it's a tough business.
That's terrific.
What, is that all you got?
I'll ask you the standard question. You know?
Standard question.
I think this is fake.
You think it's fake? What's that? Is that fake? Huh? What the hell's wrong with you? That's open hand slap, huh? You think it's fake? You come like this, it's fake? Huh? What do you mean? Fake. What the hell is the matter?
Oh, John, I'd heard that this happened to you, and not until I saw it did I realize the impact of this. I hope nobody thinks that this was part of your story. You really were beaten by this man.
Yes.
I know that it's been difficult for you emotionally just to watch it. How is it physically? What did he do after he hit you?
It just makes me mad. I mean, he hit me right on each ear. Doctor now says I have ear damage that's probably permanent. My ears hurt when there are loud sounds. Every time a bus goes by or people talk loudly, it hurts.
You said violence can bring about violence. Is this the result of something like this?
I mean, this guy is an exception. Most of these wrestlers are hardworking guys who know it's an act and keep it to the act. But
you must have been absolutely stunned in more ways than one.
I just couldn't believe it. I make a living confronting crooks and people who are fakers, and the one time I get hit is confronting someone where it's obvious that it's fake.
And where he kept saying to you, is that all you want to know? Is that all you want to... What about Eddie Mansfield, who admits that it's fake? There's sort of a wrestler's code that you never do this, and he did it.
He was unusual. We've looked for someone who would talk about it for years, and none of these people would talk. He talks and has lost his job because of it, because he's mad. He feels these wrestlers work hard and get very little from these promoters.
It is an amazing piece that started out being funny and entertaining, and then became very true and very real, and unfortunately, in your case, in that part of it, too real. I hope you feel better, John.